Hello and welcome everybody to Happiness Patrol. We are back and we're thrilled to have you with us. If this is your first time seeing the Happiness Patrol, we are tired of toxic fandoms. And so we decided we wanted to do something that makes us happy. And for the first season, that something is Star Wars. So today we are talking about Empire Strikes Back. And we're going to have a great time. I'm not alone. You're not going to have to put up with just me for an hour. I've got my crew here. Let's start off with Cameron, I think. Cameron, how you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. You ready for this?
Yeah, this is, obviously these Star Wars movies are my favorite, and Empire is a brilliant movie, and I could literally talk about it for hours and hours and hours.
Nice. Next up, let's go south to Melanie. Hey, Melanie.
Hello.
How's it going?
Not bad. I'm not at all looking at the old Star Wars Celebration Japan website that they're letting people have excess merch out right now, including the 20th anniversary of the Return or Revenge of the Sith. Anywho,
expensive. Let's bring out Scott. Hey, Scott.
Hello, Cameron. It's my job to make this thing go for hours. So good. Stay within your lines. No, I'm doing fantastic. I'm actually looking forward to discussing what is probably the second best Star Wars film. Yeah, we already started there.
Yeah, we're going to start there. All right. Well, before we start rolling too much, we've got Jess back. Hey, Jess.
Hey.
Hello.
Wearing your Life Day robes.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know,
for the holiday season.
Exactly. We do record these in advance. This show goes live. When does this one go live? We're doing January 1st. It's New Year's. Happy New Year's, everybody.
Happy New Year.
You made it.
We did
it. We are recording this in November
Mission
on
accomplished.
Life Day.
They don't have to know that.
Had I been paying attention, I would have reversed the recording dates and done this episode last month when we did the Star Wars holiday special so that we could record that today on Life Day. I was clearly not paying attention. I feel I
how dare
you failed.
I am upset at myself legitimately for dropping that ball.
You know what? It's okay.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
I'm so sad that I couldn't make it for that episode. So Empire.
Yes, you're lying but we won't call you out on the fact that you're lying about that. You were just sad that you missed us, not that you missed the holiday special.
Correct. I missed all of it. I'm so sad I didn't have a reason to watch the holiday special.
Brilliant.
I feel like I'm immune to your Jedi mind tricks on this one.
You have by the time between now and when this goes live, you'll have lots of time to watch it before, and then you can watch the episode where we talk about it, and then you can just go into our group chat and go, "What?
Boy,
just
did I
like
dodge
that.
a bullet!"
Yep, just like
that Kermit the Frog gif.
Yeah, you'll say, "Thank God you weren't alive in the '70s to deal with the weirdness."
Yeah, but it was good weirdness, sort of. Some of it was good weirdness.
Some of it's great. Some of it's some of the best, and then some of it is very hard to slog through.
But anything with B. Arthur is amazing, so it doesn't matter.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
it was good. It was good enough they canonized some of it in Skeleton Crew.
And also, to be fair, they did introduce this bounty hunter guy. You'd never heard of him before, so.
What is it?
He never comes back.
Boba Tea. No, Boba Fett. Sorry, that's right. It was.
Yes.
Boba Fett cheese. No, just Boba Fett.
Realized characterization too, not just he appeared and it was just this little.
Yeah.
I mean, that honestly is a reason to watch at least that one segment.
It's most definitely a spaghetti western. When you introduce Boba Fettuccine, it'll be.
All right.
That was for you.
It's almost more Boba Fett in that cartoon than it is in these movies. He doesn't have much to do or say.
No.
It's true, but we do get Boba Fett in this movie.
We do. For real.
IG-88, when we get Bosk, we get
them all.
Orlam,
Orlam,
Lucas, Dengar.
Dengar.
Admiral Ozzel.
Yeah, Ozzel.
Never stops.
Never
The hits
stop.
just keep coming.
The hits keep
Should we have
coming.
gotten more of the bounty hunters?
Yes.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting. Yeah, it would have been interesting to see even a scene where after they leave the bridge, where they all kind of have their different strategy, and maybe they're cheating off of each other about where they think this is, and in the garbage scene where
He's a touch.
Chewie saves 3PO's pieces. Not only is there a great cameo by the entire crew in a reflection, you do see IG-88 whitish version of him in the background, and I think Forlom, his mask is back there, but maybe Zuckuss, one of they kind of swapped their names at one point, but
Right.
yeah, they're all in there, which gives you the impression that maybe they did go there and then didn't make it.
I'd be
Who
okay
knows?
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All sorts of options.
I am going to give an update. I watched back the A New Hope episode this morning, and I talked about my mom always walking in during the same two scenes.
Yep.
And she always came in the trash compactor scene in A New Hope, and whenever I was watching Empire, she would come in when Yoda was lifting the X-Wing out of the swamp. I got the timestamps. The trash compactor is at 1 hour and 16 minutes. And Yoda lifting is at 1 hour and 12 minutes. So
yep.
pretty close.
Pretty close.
Mhm.
You know, the mom math is working out.
Yep. The I need to go check on my child. They've been far too quiet for too long.
Yeah. Or it's dinner time and he hasn't come down yet. Let's go get him. And
why is that frog messing with that spaceship? He's just like,
what's he doing?
Yeah.
This movie again.
Again and again and again.
And every
Star
day.
Wars is
And
life.
every day.
Like let's be honest here. Nothing but Star Wars. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was.
No. It's really funny because, like, as a kid growing up watching these, okay, and this I would like to very much stress as a kid growing up watching these, I would only watch till the end of the Hoth and just like go to Return of the Jedi. I just did not care about it. But when you grow up, I know that Jess is giving the right response. But when you grow up, you start to realize like how good all of it is. Like but I do feel like, because Hoth feels like a space battle on land, and we don't get a lot of that in the original trilogy, at least, and it's so interesting. There's so much depth to just that battle, and when they're talking about how we have to like protect the transports as they're going, it feels desperate. It really does feel like we're at the end of the rebel resistance to this, and that theme carries through. I don't think there's any point where there isn't an uneasiness in this film. And then we get to the end where, spoiler alert, Boba Fett takes off with Han Solo. We get the father crap and all that other stuff. Yeah, I know I said it that way. Deal with it.
It's a chase. It's a chase. The whole film is a chase, and that's. They did so much great world building stuff to like get us started. Like it starts with the probe droid coming in, which kind of goes back to the droids leaving in the escape pod, but it hits that snow, and you go, oh, we're in a whole other world here. And there's that amazing helicopter shot of the Tauntaun running, where I don't even know if they remember how they pulled that off. But
I learned how they pulled that off because I listened to, you had recommended a podcast audio commentary.
Jamie Denning.
And they mentioned that how they basically just went and basically rotoscoped it.
Wow.
They did still pulling off the helicopter shot was amazing because you don't have, they get in pretty close and you don't have all this blowing snow.
Mm-hmm.
But then they basically rotoscoped on the model.
Amazing.
So yeah,
I mean, and another thing we got is real locations. They went to Norway.
Yes.
They went and when they were planning to shoot Han stuff in studio, like where he uses the lightsaber to cut the tauntaun and stuff. And it started storming, and they were like, "Get Harrison on a plane, get him to Norway," and they were able to shoot that in real snowstorms. And I mean, that real tactile location stuff goes a long way. I can see why the Hoth stuff. I mean, the AT-ATs are maybe one of the best vehicle designs in the whole trilogy.
So cool.
And yeah, I maybe not the most practical, but the coolest.
Yeah,
And
definitely the coolest.
yeah,
the silhouette on them is amazing.
And with them
they stand
coming
out.
over the ridge, and it's amazing. And yeah, I could see why as a kid, especially a young kid, you'd be like, "Give me that Hoth battle." And on top of that, the score in the Hoth battle is some of the best music. I'd say this is the best score of the original trilogy.
And it's so driving. It's the music. The other side of it as well is it's interesting you say the practical effects stuff are flying Han Solo out, because like nowadays we're having that same debate with the movie or the TV shows, right? Where is it in the volume or like with Andor, they're on set. And you really do see this. So Disney's fighting with this, or not Disney, I guess Lucas is fighting this 1979, I guess would be when we're filming this thing.
Mhm.
And that debate is still coming up to this day of how the best way to capture. And I'm sure it's an economic question.
I mean, difficult shooting in the blizzard, and everyone kind of knows the story that the blizzard was so strong that they sent Luke out into it, and then the whole crew stayed in the hotel, and they just opened the doors of the hotel and shot into the parking lot, and all that stuff with Luke tumbling in the snow. He's the only one out there dealing with it, but that sometimes.
Well, it's because if the crew went out, they would die when they shut the hotel. That's why Chewie gets so mad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I miss international breakfast.
Slept through the Continental.
Yeah.
Han Solo uses the lightsaber to cut open the tauntaun. That's pretty rad. That's a pretty rad moment. But there's another moment where a non-Jedi uses a lightsaber in this movie. Can you guys figure out what I'm talking about?
Oh, I know the answer, and I can't remember where it is.
Was it when Luke gets a hold of it? Because he's not a Jedi yet.
Not really a Jedi yet. I honestly, and this is me being so dumb sometimes, but I think the Wampa used the lightsaber. Because the Wampa drags him back into the cave, and then he has to hang him upside down in the ceiling of the cave. I think he takes his lightsaber and melts it and sticks his feet in there until it freezes, which is probably pretty quickly, and leaves him there. And then he throws the lightsaber down into the snow.
# snowy null.
Because how else would the lightsaber end up off his belt and in the snow? And B, how else would the Wampa freeze?
Well, if we're going with theories,
A, gravity, B, Wampa spit. A lot of it.
I was thinking the Wampa palm. I was thinking more palm. You heat it up and stick it. But yeah, I was like, I think it's a D-ring, so it makes sense it would just fall off.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe Luke spends a lot of the movie upside down, so he.
Yeah.
That's true.
But that's always been my theory. And then there is a moment, of course, now with the special edition when Luke is reaching out with the Force to pull the lightsaber towards him, and the Wampa's in the other side of the cave, and they've added that shot of him eating the tauntaun, and then he looks up, and that's when he goes after Luke, and Luke has to kind of work pretty quickly to cut his arm off and get out of there, which makes me think that the Wampa was Force sensitive as well. So I have this whole theory that the Wampa is Force sensitive. It's using lightsabers, maybe a former Jedi. We'll table that for now. But
Wampa is a former Jedi. There's a hot theory. That's a hot take.
That's a hot take. Yeah.
Maybe a wrong one.
I hope. I may have to clip that one for a.
The High Republic gave us a Wookiee Jedi. So
sure, Wookiee, and then
so did Clone Wars.
Yeah,
there's that big furry guy, but and then of course there was all that Wampa. There was all that extra Wampa stuff that they cut, where 3PO takes the sticker off the door. And the Wampa.
I love that scene. I'm so mad.
Yeah,
because that is, like, cheeky 3PO is prime Star Wars. I mean,
it's really funny. And I always loved is it Shadows of the Empire, the video game, where there was Wampas in Echo Base, and you could like open them up.
Oh my gosh, that was my childhood playing.
Trying to
Shadows
wrap
of the Empire.
throw cable around them, so good.
Yes,
Oh,
so
God.
hard. On the Nintendo 64, I had my controller trying to
trying to wrap it up. There it is.
Yeah.
It's when you go around my room, it's literally just right here. So
great game. That again, when you have to fight IG-88 in that game, it's one of the hardest.
Stressful.
Oh my god,
the train.
that train where you gotta jump.
Anytime I hear that music from that scene in the train, I have like war flashbacks to that train scene, and I'm like, we need to skip the song. I need to move on. Like, I'm stressed because I'm hearing the song that plays when you're trying to get the timing right to jump onto that train and off the train.
So hard.
Stress disorder.
And I blame the physics of the game, because when you jump, you kind of float. Like, it was kind of floaty jump. And it wasn't natural. But that's very, very difficult.
That makes me feel a lot better, because I was very young when I played that, and I was like, oh, I was just young and I was bad at the game. So if it was the game, that makes me feel so much better about myself.
It's very difficult. But that Battle of Hoth level, I mean, I probably played that, and then I think it's come up in other games too. It's always the best level of every game.
Well, and you have to fight the ATST without like you're just a person against an ATST, and it's like, what?
I like how we are referring to any of like the main characters in Star Wars as just a person. It's just a person. Like,
you're just a person.
Have you heard of this Luke guy? Is he just a person? Yeah, he's just a person.
Yeah, he's just a guy.
He's just a guy.
Just a whiny teenager.
Set the drinking game.
Power converters. Yeah, Tashi Station.
Set the drinking game. I'm going to mention a fan edit. The same guy that does my favorite A New Hope cut, Adiwan Adrian, does a cut of Empire. He hasn't done Jedi yet. I think he's working on it. And he doesn't do a lot in the Empire cut other than the color. The color's amazing again, especially on Dagobah. You can really see more of the lizards and the snakes just because the color pops a lot better. He adds like a big spider creature in one of the really wide shots. And I think he redoes the trees with a miniature, and it's great. But the Battle of Hoth scene is really elevated, and he adds a lot more ATSTs. And my favorite one is when Luke goes up with the magnet and cuts it open and throws a bomb, and then the head blows up on the AT-AT. As it falls, there's an ATST trying to get out of the way and can't quite get out of the way, and it crushes it. It's a great little addition.
I would love that.
Yeah, it makes it a worthwhile cut for sure.
Well, I'm wondering, because there's rumors that the original is being released for the 50th anniversary. I'd love to see an original Empire in theaters. Again, Return of the Jedi came out the same year I was born. So the closest I ever got to watching any of these in theaters are the re-releases. And I did a marathon, but again, it's the re-releases as part of it. I would love to see the Battle of Hoth in its original on big screen. I think that's something. I also like when you go from Hoth, the snow on Hoth, to such a lively tropicalness of Dagobah. It's such a especially because snow is deserty, so is Tatooine. And now we're getting to somewhere where it's very much the opposite. Lots of life, lush, very green, very, very, very life, filled with life, I guess. And now that we know metachlorians are in everything, it makes a lot of sense to me that Yoda would go somewhere where maybe his metachlorians would be masked with all how much there is, right? So,
and I always assumed the dark cave. I don't know if this is canon or not, but that cave that Luke goes into, that's full of dark side energy, I always assume that helped to mask Yoda too.
Yes.
Yeah, and similar to Acto, where Luke is hiding in the sequels, there's that dark cave that I think helps to mask him. Is that true? I assume that's the case.
And I think that was actually addressed in Acolyte because they're talking about that convergence. So it's like these are these naturally occurring force strong locations that are just scattered throughout. So that's very much a canon thing, and that's part of the reason that Yoda was there. There are some that are more inclined to the light, some that are more inclined to the dark, and some that are just it's just the force. But I think most of that now I'm like, am I making this up? But I think it was based off of whether or not ancient, like Swarter times, if it was kind of an area controlled by Darksiders versus Lightsiders type thing.
Yeah, I could see
because it's almost like it holds memory. Yeah,
Dagobah would be a refuge of dark users, dark force users.
Yeah,
and Yoda knew he had to go there probably because he's 900 years old and knew where the bad places were. Yeah, interesting.
He was only 800 years old. What are you talking about?
Yeah. 8 something. Who's counting? Wait.
Just
the number.
He's 888.
Yeah, because he says that he's
18
trained
years.
Jedi for 800 years. So for me, it's in Empire. So I think he's a little older.
Because he says when 900 years you reach, look as good you are not, and then Luke is 18, so 888.
So when did when did Yoda learn to talk? Because if Grogu is around 50, shouldn't we start getting like real words out of this guy soon?
Well, and I have a
nature
theory
versus nurture, maybe.
Growth.
Yeah,
there's no reason why Grogu should talk in that backwards way too, the Yoda speak way.
Yeah, because Yaddle showed that she doesn't talk like that.
Well, no, and that's that. I just want some more words than like whatever he's been throwing out here. But now that we're starting talking age of Yodas.
Yeah, if he was training people by the time he was 80 or 100, then yeah, maybe
that's the ending of the new movie. Is actually it's just going to be Grogu being like Mandalorian, and then that's there you go. There's your and Star Wars fans will like lose their minds if they do that. Oh, they will.
Yeah.
Disney will sell 1 million of them that you pull a thing and it's like Mandalorian.
Exactly.
Well, and you also don't know, they might do something really unique with the species of like they are basically infants until like a certain age, and then after that they jump. There's no adolescence. It's like you cook for so long not talking that it's just like ding, and then it's like everything's fully developed.
Great, now I can't shut you up.
Yeah,
so they could do something like that where it's like this is a unique thing to this species.
Also, everything has like some backstory, but we don't have any backstory on this.
No,
and it
which I'm fine with.
Yeah, it has to be intentional.
Yeah,
it has to be. You can. Everyone has an action figure. There's a backstory to everything, but yet this one is left, and I'm curious if
I love it. I feel like if they were to give it a back, I don't want them to, because no matter what, people will be disappointed.
I think that's where we're going with the Grogu stuff is eventually
giving like a name to the species and stuff.
Yeah, even or like an origin story of some sorts of like because everything, the Crate Dragon has an origin story. Like everything has an origin story. But I do like that. I don't know if I'm going to use the word restraint, which is weird when you think of Disney Star Wars. But it's neat that there's a restraint to this, and it's one of the few, especially for the time, Empire has this mystique about it where we're really When I first saw John Wick and the gold coins, 12 gold coins plus 1 for a tip makes bodies disappear. No questions. They show up, they make them disappear, and he knows for a fact that they're not going to be found. And for me, like I love the film, but the gold coins is what I found fascinating, the world of. And I think Empire is literally just building on, like, if Star Wars is a proof of concept, hey, can we actually do this? Empire is like, okay, let's really dig into what this is. And
They really got into the characters. Like this is the one where they really start growing the characters. And I mean, I'll say right now, Yoda is by far my favorite Star Wars character of all the Star Wars characters. But what a gamble! What an absolute chance they took that it didn't look like a Muppet, you know.
Yeah.
And that he really, I mean, poor Mark Hamill was the only human on the call sheet for this whole movie. And he's either talking to someone in a mask or a robot that beeps or a Muppet where the performers are
under
7
the
feet
ground
below, and he's got an earpiece and it's not working great. And yeah, like I think Mark Hamill does a great job in this, and especially what he's up against. But the Yoda performance could have gone so sideways. It could have been so terrible. He could have sounded like Miss Piggy, but he doesn't. It's
no, it's
he doesn't. He
great.
sounds like Grogu.
Great,
amazing. And Frank Oz took credit for him talking backwards because he felt like he was from another time and a more formal, time. So
it helped Hamill a lot. Also, that Oz the absolute mastery of puppeteering that Yoda, and still having all those nuances and all that kind of fun stuff from this puppet, but also Oz, even between takes, staying in character here and there, even if it was little jokey bloopers. Right. That helps because that's going to make you not see a puppet, but help you really act off of that. Even
to the point where the director was giving directions to Yoda, and Frank had to be like, "I can't hear you. You got to talk. I'm down here. Like, don't talk to the puppet." But I mean, I work with puppets. I've worked for Jim Henson, and it's not easy. They've got 3-4 people doing Yoda. They've got different people on the ears, and they rehearse to get it right. But I just feel like they absolutely nailed it. And I don't know if there's ever been another puppet performance as impactful to a movie as this. And when he turns, like he's cute when he's cute. And then when he turns and even the, I'm not afraid, you will be, and all that stuff. It really,
when he's introduced, beating on R2D2, and he's just have it.
Love it.
Like, and those two know each other.
And you don't get that at all. It's like you're like, oh, he's an annoying little dude on the planet, and then he just on a dime switches.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's
I'm not going to train him.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's such a testament to practical effects, because like I remember, because I started with the original trilogy and then prequels came out, and watching Yoda go from the fully practical to practical with some CGI, especially to Attack of the Clones where he's jumping around. Even me as a child, like under 10 years old child, was watching that going, that doesn't feel like Yoda. Like that's not real.
It was
like,
cool, but
it was so cool, and I still love it. But
it
was just like that. What is that?
Tactile?
Uncanny Valley.
Oh yeah.
Of like, I know that's Yoda, and I know that this is like computer Yoda, and it's like the more advanced technology gets, the less Yoda feels like Yoda.
I would love to watch that battle in practical, like puppet Yoda, like trying to figure out like Beyblade ketamine frog Yoda. like practical.
Some of the stuff they did on like
we're gonna hang the performer upside down.
Some of the battle stuff they did on the Dark Crystal show on Netflix is very energetic and physical puppetry. I feel like I would love to see someone take that on as a little challenge. Like, can you fight Dooku with a puppet Yoda?
You might see that with Grogu.
Oh yeah,
it's
gonna be CGI. Okay, so artists of YouTube, we have a challenge for you. Someone figure out how to do this and like bring us into it, because we want to be part of it.
Yeah, I would love to know. I just want to, like, I know it's doable. Like, I know it's doable, but like, Idris Elba complained about
brilliant.
hanging there in like the second Thor movie or something like that, just hanging in he's like, I spent all day in a rig all day. I was like, well, here's a dude in a rig with a puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's such a testament that something that was made 20 years prior to that feels more authentic and real than something that is like more advanced, and as even things that are 40, 50 years out from that, I still feel like Yoda feels the most real in Empire.
There's a really good example of it is Alien 2 to Alien 3. So Alien 3, they look really weird, the aliens, but they're real. They're practical, but they Photoshop them in. I'm sure there's a term for this, versus being in the scene. Sorry, composited. Yeah. And it looks off. Even though it is a practical, they filmed the person in the but it feels off every time the alien's on scene. And this is the director of Aliens 3 worked as a matte painter on Return of the Jedi. He's big on the ILM side, and he went, this is the best way to go about it, or Fox or budget. But I wonder if you do something like that, it wouldn't feel right. And like some choices Lucas has made throughout the 6, I guess, I think are some of the most forward-looking, like visionary that he is. And then every once in a while, it just feels like he like went for a run and twisted his ankle. Like it's just like, and so it's yeah, just some days, man. But like you don't get to where you are without having some creative genius about you. So
yeah.
I want to talk about Princess Leia for a bit in this one.
Oh, she's in this one?
She's in this one. And I have a theory, again, wild theory. I don't think anyone in this movie uses the Force more than Leia. And here's where I am on that. I think this movie is Leia's movie, specifically about her relationship with the Force. And I think we saw it in A New Hope with Luke. He was just kind of learning what it was and what it could do. And he kind of, starts to use it. The trench run, he uses it. So in that trench run, Vader's behind him and he goes, the Force is strong with this one. I think, Vader can sense this Force signature coming off of Luke, similar to the way that he senses Obi-Wan's presence in the Death Star. Then he finds out that this person that blew up the Death Star was Luke Skywalker, and he starts to assume this is a son, and he becomes obsessed with it. And his search in this movie is for his son. He knows his son is out there, and he kind of has a feeling of what this Force signature is. And they show him the photo that the probe droid takes of the powered shield generator, and he immediately knows, yes, that's them, and I'm sure my son is with them. And they beeline to Hoth, and he gets to Hoth, and Luke's out there flying around doing his thing. I don't think he's really using the Force for anything. I think he's relying on his skill as a pilot and a pretty good. He's got a gunner, and they're doing
patrols
they know their strategies. They've been training for this. Leia, on the other hand, is in the command center, and she's organizing the entire evacuation, not just the people, but the equipment and everything. And she is the one that has the secret rendezvous point, and she's organizing the firing of the ion cannon and everything. She's the strategist. I think she's relying heavily on the Force. When Vader gets to Hoth, he doesn't go out into the field where the AT-ATs are. He goes straight for that command center. And I think he's tracking that Force signature, because I'm guessing Leia and Luke are twins. They have a similar, if not the same, Force signature. Even if it's not the same, it's that he's sensing somebody here was using the Force and using it strongly. I'm going here. Then he goes from there right to the Falcon where Leia is. they take off, and he goes, "Ah, my son got away." Now it's a pursuit. Now it's a chase. Meanwhile, Luke gets in his X-Wing, goes to Dagobah. Nobody notices. He's out of there. Vader then chases that ship and obsessed with the idea that they're still alive, even when they're in the asteroid field and they're like, well, they must have been destroyed. He's like, no, they're alive. I can feel it. So I think he's adamant that his son is on that ship and he's going to chase him all the way. Then they get to Bespin and it's like, oh, he's not here. I've been tricked. I don't know if he thinks it's like a Jedi trick or what it is. He's been around Leia before, and he probably doesn't consider, like, maybe he's thinking, oh, I wouldn't have felt anything from her, from before. So then he's like, okay, well, obviously Luke has done something to tie the Force to this person, so we can use them. If we torture them, Luke will come here. Again, it's one of these movies where the bad guy really does want to keep the good guys alive. Like, he could have walked in and just killed those guys and moved on. He wants to keep them alive because he's obsessed with getting Luke there. Then Luke does come. He senses a similar, if not the same, Force strategy or signature. They have a battle. Luke gets away. He's on the ship now and he's off, but there was a moment where he alters the deal and he's like, oh, send Princess and the Wookiee to my ship, because I think maybe there's a moment where he's like, I got to figure out what's going on with this girl too. I really do think. And then Leia gets I've got a bad feeling about this in the space slug. She gets that line. The way Leia looks at Vader right before Han's put in carbonite, she looks over at him and she has this very different look on her face. And then she backs away and goes over to Chewie. And I think she's, like when she says to Luke in Jedi, I feel like I've always known. All this is happening in her throughout all of Empire. And if you go back and watch Empire with that in mind, I think you'll see it, that Leia is really using the Force, feeling the Force. And then when Luke is hanging upside down and he's like, hear me, Leia hears it. And we got to go back. We got to get Luke. And it's not like Luke, shot the Force over to her. I think she's tapping into all this stuff that's happening. Also, and I said it in the A New Hope episode, that, obviously she's attracted to Han. They've got this kind of big sleep film noir kind of back and forth. But there's something that keeps pulling her back to Luke and she can't quite figure out what it is, which is why she kisses Luke to make Han jealous. And even when he's hurt, when they reconnect there in that moment, I think she goes, oh, something's going on here. And she gives him another little kiss. And I'm rambling, but I really feel like this is Leia's movie and it's Leia using the Force through the whole movie. And I love it.
The first thing came to mind as you were saying this was like, we're about to go to American Thanksgiving. So maybe, the Luke Leia thing might happen more than once, if you know what I mean. But no,
it's very Greek. It's very Greek tragedy.
So question.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any questions? Feel free. But where is this all in episode 4?
What's that?
In episode 4, we have Luke, Leia, and Obi-Wan, all Force users, on the Death Star. We have Leia by herself. If metachlorians are the way they are, Vader should have been able to feel that she has this thing going on, whether you've unlocked it or not. That's how they find all the kids, right?
I don't think it's totally unlocked in her, because he couldn't feel Luke on Tatooine. I think until you kind of start feeling it out, but there's probably new canon.
I also think that, like, with Obi-Wan, he's very distracted. This is why
that's
the
why
Jedi are taught.
Yeah,
I think he's very much distracted of, like, but senses the familiarity of Obi-Wan, and he's so hyper focused on that.
Leia is on it for the whole Alderaan scene.
He does say
none of the other ones there.
He does say that she survived the torture, that her mind was too strong for the torture device.
Yep.
I think he clocks that, but again, there's force sensitive people all over the place. I don't think he's going, "This is my daughter." But once he knows the existence of a son and he recognizes that force signature, he chases it until it all kind of comes together.
Like I love the idea of Princess Leia, and you see it more in the sequel trilogy, where it's always felt dismissive whenever they use the word princess for her. I like that they use commander.
She's a senator. Yeah.
And even Han Solo every once in a while is like princess. Like, and he does it in some stank on it. Like, oh, you're just, you're a Princess Peach or whatever, and just go away.
Well, even the first sequel of when they said something about Princess goes, and her thing was "Call me General." That was my favorite line. Was like, "Call me General." I'm like, yes.
No, get shed off. There's a preconceived notion to, I think, the word princess, and I'm picturing Zelda cartoon where it's like, "Excuse me, princess," but
I always picture Spaceballs.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Right,
because they really took that same. We're dismissing this as just another girl.
Yeah, she doesn't look Druish.
Yeah, she doesn't look Druish. But they, when she first gets the gun, it's like, "My hair! You shot my hair!" That's so cheesy. And then she blows everybody away, and it's like, right, there's more here than that.
No, yeah. And I love the idea of Princess Leia getting her own, and she is almost in every scene minus Dagobah. Like, she is there. Right?
And the dialogue between her and Han is just so good, like just spit firing back and forth. Even like when you hear when they're in like the space slug and all that, between her and Han, the dialogue written and performed is wonderful. And then when they go back to Luke and Yoda, the dialogue again is amazing. So just I love
it's a beautifully
that
written
piece as well.
Whenever I see any behind the scenes stuff, and that Jamie Benning filmumentary Building Empire really drives it home that we owe a life debt to Irvin Kershner, the director of this movie. He really knows how to tell those up close, sensitive relationship stories. And, you frame it in this big science fiction fantasy movie with battles and lasers and robots. But it's really, this movie could have been a terrible sequel to a great movie. But it isn't. It really grows and develops all these characters. And, even something as simple as Leia not trusting Lando through the whole thing. It'd be interesting if that swapped, actually. I thought of that today. I've never thought of that before. But if Leia got to Bespin and really was charmed by Lando, it might have been kind of cute that she was like into him, and then Han could be like, "Well, we shouldn't trust him. We should," that could be kind of cute.
I'm gonna ask Mel and Justice. When was the last time some guy went, "Hello, ladies," and you went, "Oh yeah, that's the one." Like
the first part of that conversation, I was like, every day, unfortunately, and then you finished it, and I was like, never.
Yeah, no, you're just like, hello, and then you like kisses her hand. I was like, they really sold that this man's got like angles he's playing, and like it's just like the smoothest man in the galaxy. I'm like, your game ain't as good as you think it is. Like it's
to any female, you gotta go away.
Would you like a ride on my Cloud City? like it's like
truly belong here.
Yeah.
And when he starts laying it on like that, you can see her go right into her senator poise.
Oh,
yes,
diplomatic.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, we're gonna put this mask on. All right, let's go.
Yeah, I'm surprised the British accent didn't come out at that point.
I love Lando. I actually really love Lando. Like he's such a great character, and he's so different from everything else in that film. Like him and Leia actually have a lot in common from behind the scenes, where like he's running his city, he's got trade routes with like the Empire's breathing down his neck, like that logistics side. But then like he sees her and goes, just like the other side, like 1970s. He's got like a heart-shaped bed that spins and like his disco ball. You know he does. And like it's just like I'm the smoothest guy in the galaxy. I get any.
Honestly, I don't know if I've ever seen a character as well done of just showing off side hustles as Lando, like in anything, now that I think about it, because I'm like, he was like the master of like legitimate, some illegitimate, but some legitimate side hustles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a really unique and fun thing that we get, that once again, to the point of world building, because it very much creates this, oh, you've got your smugglers and you got your princesses and then your farmers, and it's like, yeah, but other people are just trying to make their way, and
Yeah.
they have like 20 side hustles that they're doing, and some of them are sketchy and some of them are legit. And
It's
once
the
you get
most
that power,
Andor thing in the original trilogy, is it's
Yeah.
that as soon as he says the Empire's taking control of the city, everyone flees because they're probably there for a certain reason, you know, and they don't want to
Yeah.
live under the thumb of
Well,
the Empire.
and you see this in Solo. Donald Glover latches on to that part of Lando and just sells it really well.
Mhm.
That it's, and obviously it's before, right? Before the Cloud City and the Bespin and all that. But like, he just gets it. He gets that character from beginning to end.
Mhm.
And Lando is that person that, like, it's, again, it says a lot. And I think it's really important that we get this smarmy suaveness, because throughout the rest of it, he's a calculated man who just like, this is, you know what? I'm about to sell my friend out, but it's going to save my city. And the one versus the many argument is, I think, what's going on to the Vader dinner is like, look, I made a deal, and then it keeps changing. And he goes, that's not how this works. Everyone else, I deal with the Hutts and I deal with the bounty hunter. I deal with these people all the time. They don't have the balls you do. And it says a lot again about the Empire's reach is like, no, I am the Empire. My say is the last thing that happens. And if I want to change the deal, I'm going to change the deal.
Yeah.
Like,
and pray we don't change it more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pray, yeah, exactly. And it's so, and Lando, you can see him. He's not happy by it, but he bites his tongue and takes it. And with anyone else, he would have fought back. But with Vader, he's like, no, I know who you are. I know what you can do, and I know who's behind you. And if I want to even be on this earth, but space universe any longer, I'm just going to bite my tongue and do my best. And that's when you start seeing him calculating, like, no, this isn't going to go how I thought, right? So, and that's, I think it's, and again, this is all the same movie. We're talking about the same movie. It has all of this in it. Like, it's, yeah.
I was so mad when I found out that Empire's like so many people's favorites, because it was always my favorite growing up. And then I got the internet, and then I found out that, oh yeah, everyone loves Empire. And I was like, no, I don't want to be like everyone. I want to like my own movie. But it's like, but it's
you're
so
far
good.
from everybody else.
Yeah.
You are far from.
I know of one person that you know, everyone draws their Star Wars line somewhere, and some people are like original trilogy only, and then some people are like the George Lucas ones only, and I don't like the Disney stuff. And you know, everyone kind of has their, but I know one person that draws their line at Empire, that they like A New Hope intensely, and Empire's when everything got ruined. And I don't see, he says that's when it becomes a soap opera. And I'm like, no, that's,
well, yeah, it was already a soap opera.
It's already a soap opera. And you know, like,
it's a space opera.
Yeah. But it's funny that, there are people out there that draw their line there. When we were kids, they drew their line at Jedi because they didn't like the teddy bear Ewoks and they didn't get it. So people that really love Empire sometimes are not Jedi fans. Yeah.
Return of the Jedi was my favorite and number one up until Rogue One. It always has been. Rogue One replaced it, but I've said it more than once, lightsabers are boring. And so lightsaber battles are boring. I'm sorry. It's not what I'm here.
But the lightsaber duel in Bespin.
I'm sorry.
The Vader
on
Luke
Bespin 8 with
it's great, and that's so fun.
But I think it's not about the battle though. It's
the
not
drama.
about the physical battle.
Oh yeah,
it's about everything that's under it, and I think that's we're not there yet. But that's what makes the one in Return of the Jedi
so good.
Yeah,
so good.
But like, I'm not gonna jump. I'm sorry, but like, but that's my thing is. With a lot of like combat in any film, my brain kind of used to, it picks up on it a lot more because I do it now. I do stage combat, and so I'm like, watching it and I'm analyzing it. But before that, like my brain kind of shuts it off and I'm like, okay, and then they fight, cool. Where's the story? And I think that's something that's beautiful about the Star Wars films that really draws you in, is it's not a Michael Bay explosion fight. Every single move, every single action and strike has purpose. And it drives the plot. So it's almost like a musical. Like that is the singing within the show, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is everything, the choreography is just so purposeful and so
And I
it
think
drives the plot
I think
forward.
Kirshner too. I think just Kirshner had such a good sense of where this story was going and how to really get to the heart of it. And a lot of times Empire gets credit for like, oh, the bad guys win. Like at the end of the movie, like, oh, the bad guys won. And even watching it like this last few times, I was like, no, nobody wins. Like the only thing Vader wants, and he's willing to keep everyone alive to make it happen, is he wants Luke to come with him so that they can kill the real bad guy, the Emperor, and he can have an apprentice. Like it's that rule of two thing right from the start. And when they get away, when R2 fixes the hyperdrive and they get away, that there's that slump of disappointment. Kind of nobody wins, which is even greater. It's a way better ending than the bad guys win.
And it's again, Return of the Jedi, when they're walking on Endor there, when they first like Luke surrenders, he makes it all apparent that this is what it's about. It's not like you don't even have to theorize this 3 years later, movie wise, is because he says it. He's look, I wonder if there was a chance that if they were reunited earlier, that Vader's fate would be much different. And I think that's what they're trying to go with the Vader TV series, was this idea that like Obi-Wan isn't strong enough to bring him back, but maybe the kids are.
And that's just it. That was their plan from the start with those kids, that they were like, these kids are our key. They're our hope. And then when they say, oh, there is another, then that's their little hint that maybe somebody else is out there.
Also, how he says I know it's Return of the Jedi, but how he says sister is so crazy to me. It's such a,
so you have a twin sister. Yeah.
But he says it like it's so, I don't know if it's good or bad or not. I think he's just stating a fact and trying to deal with that at the same time. Like there's no stink on it. It's just
it's for him. Yeah, it's him realizing. Yeah, it's him realizing, oh my God, Padme had twins.
There were two.
Yeah.
I'm like, gotta love that prenatal Star Wars care.
There's no ultrasounds, and we talked about this.
Coruscant has the absolute worst maternity care.
Yeah. Again, like I think it was Jess pointed out, maybe that would put it on the official record if she went and got medical treatment. So I think she was trying to keep it all on the down low. There'd be DNA tests, there'd be all these things, and it would have been a big scandal. So
again, who would have had an issue with all this if this had all gone down? Like if the council, the Jedi would have. Oh no, they're the good guys.
But
Ki-Adi-Mundi can keep breathing.
Not during the Clone Wars. They're doing all of their actions out of fear, which means they're closer to the Sith than anything. But the other thing is, if the council found out and they had an issue, then that the way that they're being lobbied in regards to the Republic, there would be backlash politically as well. So it's not necessarily that the Jedi themselves, there would just be a lot of distrust and abuse of power. And it's like taking things that are not meant to be political and making them political. And
I just feel like there's a lot, like you got Yoda off doing his thing. You've got the Hoth, like the rebels trying to just survive, and there's a lot again being said that you're on this ice planet of where life is just hardly like, and they've chose this as they're like, look, we have a chance here.
Yeah.
You get Bespin, which is again, it's a city, but the environment, this gas giant that they're above, is hostile. Like this movie sets the asteroid when they're fixing the Falcon. Everything about this movie is hostile. It's
Even
not.
Dagobah.
Yeah,
Like,
Dagobah.
R2 gets eaten.
R2D2.
That's
Yeah.
just the Everglades.
Like he doesn't
fine.
taste very good.
He doesn't
Yeah.
taste very good. But like I never
Even
thought
Luke
I
got
wanted
bit by
to
a
taste like
snake.
it. Yeah, like there's so much that this movie is just like it's just pounding everyone. Vader, Lando, Luke, Leia, Han, all of them. They're just, and then you introduce the bounty hunters, who are widely considered in any culture not great people. I'm picturing Dog the Bounty Hunter right now.
Scum.
Totally
But,
cool.
Scum.
Like it's not like,
And the attrition of all the officers too. Like as Vader keeps killing officers, I when he force chokes, I think it's Ozzel over video. It's like, oh, this guy's powerful from everywhere. This is a very frightening.
I love the look when they're like, when the guy looks and he's like, whatever, okay,
I'll take my promotion.
Yeah, like it's just
now.
like whatever. Again, I think the robot chicken skit where it's like, oh, we'll pretend, and then we just put a mustache on him, and it's like we bring him back. Is all I can think about. It's just like we want to keep him happy because like the force choke doesn't work, but the saber does. like so.
Well, we had some very unhappy Vader in return, which is what we're going to talk about next month.
Next month.
He said next month we've got Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We get to more bounty hunter stuff. We get a whole ton of great stuff next month. But we've had a great conversation this month about Empire Strikes Back. He says, hoping that we don't go off onto another side tangent. But it's been a great discussion. I think we've kind of covered this amazing movie really well. And for people who are watching, please put your comments down below. Tell us what you think of our conversation, Cam's theories, the movie in general.
C-3PO is the Kaiser Sosa of this film.
I don't think C-3PO gets enough credit for like reversing the power flux couplings or whatever he did. Like, he was helping. He was doing
never gets enough credit.
Never gets enough.
Never gets full stop.
I was made to suffer.
It's true. So that being said, let's wind this down a little bit. And Cam, where can we find you, and what's something that's making you happy right now?
Well, I mean, Empire Strikes Back is making me happy. I'm going to steal that one first. I'm on Letterboxd at Cameron Chapman. If you want to follow me there, and I'll post all my dumb theories there too. And then we have Horses on Film, which is our other podcast where we're going through the top 100 Westerns of all time. And we've got a big chunk of it in the can now. So it's happening. It's moving along. It's looking great. Things that are making me happy. I'm happy that it's not quite looking like Hoth out there just yet. I'm sure it's getting there soon. I was trying to think if I had ever worked with anyone that had been on this film, and I was assuming, Muppeteers or anything, but then I remembered I worked with a first AD years and years and years ago named Nick Law, who was he was a production assistant on this, and he doubled as Luke's hand when they test his hand. So he was Luke's hand, and I never talked to him. I only worked a couple days with him, but I stared at his hand all day, and I was remembering that, and that made me really happy. That was great.
Nice. And Melanie, what's something that's making you happy? Where can we find you?
I'm just out and about. Find me at all my socials is Pieces of Melee. Something that's making me happy. I'm doing more stained glass, so I have more time to do more mosaic art and more stained glass stuff. So you can check it out there. Yeah.
Excellent. And Scott, where can we find you, and what is something making you happy?
I I don't think your theories are dumb, Cameron.
I never said they were. That
no, I didn't say no. Cameron did. That's just it. I'm doing Horses on Film. We really enjoying digging into westerns. Pun and Pixel. By the time you see this episode of what we're working on, should be up. Maybe even the second episode by then. Beyond that, I love talking Star Wars, and I am of the mind that you should try to be in a room where you're not the smartest person. And when it comes to Star Wars stuff, I realize I am most definitely in a room with some of the smartest people when it comes to this stuff. I am always blown away. Theories or you'll see me like ask Jess and Mel things like, I'm like, you guys know so much more than I do. Like it's humbling, actually. I love it every chance we get. So.
And speaking of one of the smartest people in the room, because I agree with that discussion, Jess, you are amazing. We love you. What is something making you happy, and where can we find you?
Well, you can find me at SongSwan Cosplay on Instagram or Facebook. I'll try to get better about posting. I say that every time, but maybe by January.
Maybe.
I believe in
maybe.
You.
Yeah, thanks. And besides getting to see you guys again after my little 2-month hiatus, because that's been wonderful and it's been great to chat with you guys again. I am doing a lot of combat with Lance Orlando, and I guess if this is coming out the 1st of January, it will be a week out from us putting on our Robin Hood show at Space Coast Ren Fair.
Ooh.
So I get to fight in a dress for that, but it's really fun, and I've been working on that fight, and the ending is it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So if you're in the Orlando area, come and see us do a live chessboard, because I'm having fun with those rehearsals.
Fabulous. As for me, you can find me obviously here on Happiness Patrol, and you're probably watching this at Happiness Patrol Show on YouTube. You also find me Sundays on Spill the Geek Tea at Spill the Geek T1, most Tuesdays on The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, and the second Tuesday, or every other Monday, every other Monday on Horses on Film with Cam and Scott, and some special guests. Next week, by the time, or several weeks ago when you see this, we had Melanie on an episode for Rio Bravo. It was great. So come check out Horses on Film. And in between all that, you can find me on my own channel, youtube.com/theratHole.ca. That's the Rat Hole DOTCA, because YouTube does not like URLs in their URLs. But that being said, thank you guys so much for.
I have one more question.
Oh boy, here we
go.
One
more. I promised this would go long. I have one more question. I'm ruining your outro.
Shoot it. Go for it.
We're at the end of the episode, and I've always wondered what other people's theories are on where do you think the rebels are at the end of Empire?
Yavin 4, because they'll never search for them there again.
Yeah, why would they go back there? But there's that kind of galaxy or protostar or something there, and they escape. Where are they? Did they leave?
Yeah, where are they? Hyper in Return of the Jedi, where all the Armada. Maybe they're just mobile at that point.
I think they're just mobile at that point, because all of their meetings in Return of the Jedi are on that mobile station. Yeah. So
right. So they've given up on the idea of hunkering into a base. They're on the run.
Well, especially after the off thing when they're flying out,
and even then,
they lost probably a lot to that, and they're probably Akbar and Leia are all together being like, I don't think we can do that again. We don't have the resources.
So they're just ship based from here on in.
It's Battlestar Galactica. So,
yeah. Okay.
A little bit of that. I think I personally think the transports are all going to a different system.
Spreading out.
Splitting up's always going to be better in your numbers.
They're on Bespin, and that's why everyone's bolting when the Empire shows up.
They're like, oh, not again.
They're going to pick up the Bothans.
Many Bothans.
Yeah.
Just a few this time.
All right. Well, now we're on the run.
Let's just keep going. Dave loves it.
No.
I've always been curious what other people thought of that, because we always talked about, did they leave the whole galaxy? Is that what we're seeing? Is the galaxy? Are they on the outside of it? And I just never really knew.
What's it mean to be a galaxy to begin with? Let's get into that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can
Bespin's pretty mid-rim, though. If I'm recalling correctly, I'm pretty sure Bespin's, it's near the outskirts, but it's still mid-rim.
Yeah, I need my galaxy map. Dave, did you want to wrap up?
Yes, let's
okay,
wrap up.
Yoda is overrated. Go ahead.
Rate No. We're cutting that episode right there. Thank you guys for joining.
We'll be back for Jedi.
Join us for Return of the Jedi. We'll.
You've left Scott speechless.
I know.
Oh, okay. No. It's kazoo time.
That's kazoo time.
Disney, please don't sue us.